Hey there, Stephen Pegg from Loves to Travel. Thanks for checking out our videos. Always appreciate you watching our videos. We're at Mount Vernon, and before we get started, as always, we appreciate you hitting that subscribe button below if you've not already done so. Also, the bell notification button below, that'll get you notified when we put up future videos. Love for you to hit that like button too. As I said, we're at Mount Vernon, getting ready to walk into George Washington's house, and you can see by the sign behind me, that's where we're at, and we're going to figure out our way around here, aren't we, hon?
Right. This has been one of the things on our bucket list to do, and we'll explain why later on.
We were going to be here 5 years ago and didn't make it. And
Due to certain things.
we'll tell you why coming up. So let's get started on our tour of Mount Vernon. So we're at Mount Vernon, and I think we're at the east parking lot entrance is where we're at. And here's a quick map of the whole estate. And we're here. And to actually get to Mount Vernon itself, the house, we got to walk all the way there. But as they're saying also, masks are required still here at Mount Vernon. So
for unvaccinated guests.
Yeah, but we still have our masks. So we're going to take them anyway and see just how bad it is inside. But a little close-up of the whole estate right there, and we'll show you inside here as we get on inside. We're going to walk down to the entrance now and get it and see if we can get in early. We're a little bit early, aren't we?
Yeah, and we are because it's supposed to rain today, so we're trying to get this done early in a day before it rains. But there are a couple things to know before you're going in. You're not allowed more bags bigger than 16 by 16 by 8, and you're not allowed to bring anything in other than water.
Yeah.
So we did read the rules before coming here.
So that's what we're going to go inside. We have our bag here. This is what we're taking in, and this is the right size, to be honest with you. And I just have it as a backpack. Yeah, this is actually beautiful as you walk in.
Brick walkways. Oh my gosh, it's been a while since we've seen brick walkways. The last time I think we saw a brick walkway was in Ithaca, downtown Ithaca.
Oh, that was years ago. It's amazing. This place, again, was built back in the 1700s. I think the brick obviously has been redone over the years. I don't think this is 250-year-old brick, honey.
I don't think so either. They do have a society that actually keeps all the grounds, all the materials, and they refurbish stuff to make sure it looks like what it was years ago.
They also have a brick fence around the entire perimeter. And I mean the entire perimeter of this whole estate. A lot of brick. Why do I feel like I'm at Disney at rope drop? Oh. Open, open, open.
No, that's not the Disney one. Oh, that is from that commercial. I know we've done this one before, but if you know what that commercial is from, could you please put it in the comments below? And we are locked out right now.
Open, open, open. So we're gonna get away from there's a couple, 3 or 4 buses that came in with us behind us. So we're gonna get away from those and just start walking our own way.
But we got the audio devices, which is what you're supposed to do when you first come here, so you could listen to the tour. It's included. I would recommend, since we didn't do this, bring a set of headphones.
Yeah.
We did not think of doing that. Just like I said, this is our first time.
Yeah.
But there's a headphone jack here. So we bring a set of headphones so you could basically put this somewhere else, and then instead of holding it, honey, so Steve would have to basically hold it to his ear the whole time to listen.
So realistically, I'm going to hold this, and just when I get to something interesting, I'm going to hold it up to my ear and see what it says. So, we're going to head up towards the mansion in the historic area. That's what I'm more interested in than the current stuff that they have here. Well, they have a concession stand here. 12-acre field concessions. It's over there.
Oh.
It's not open yet. But
no, but there it is.
They're in the process of opening it.
Yeah, there's a concession stand in there.
Yeah.
But this is a field as you're walking to the mansion.
Also a place you can sit underneath the benches over there underneath the trees.
Oh, honey.
There it is.
There it is. There's the mansion. There's George Washington's house.
So behind us right now is George Washington's mansion. And we've got about, what, 15 minutes before the tour starts. Our scheduled tour, I think it's 9:35, right, honey?
Yes, it is 9:35.
So we've got about 15 to 20 minutes before we've got to get up there. So we're going to walk around and just take a little bit of video, and then we'll do the mansion tour and show you what George Washington's mansion looks like inside, all right?
Well, we don't know whether we can tape inside
We're
yet.
going to try. Let me put it that way. We're going to try. So we'll at least shoot some video from the outside and hopefully get some from the inside as well, all right? So I wonder if the town of Bowling Green was named after this. George Washington devised as the central element of his landscape composition a level, well-manicured lawn, admiringly described by one French nobleman as a kind of a courtyard with a green carpet. Well, modern visitors may be accustomed to such wide expanses of evenly trimmed grass. 18th century lawns were expensive to plant and required extensive labor to maintain. The gently curving perimeters gave the landscape a more natural appearance, strongly contrasting with the straight, formal walks of most 18th century landscapes. To maintain the appearance, the grass was regularly smoothed with a large stone roller and cut with scythes by skilled enslaved laborers. Wow.
So there is the beautifully manicured lawn.
I think they actually use a lawnmower on it now instead of scythes,
Yeah,
instead of scythes.
You can see the rollers on it, or the lawnmower.
It's a nice, nice fairway. Put a green on the other side of it.
You and your golf. These are the greatest things in the world. I hate to tell you that.
They have them all over the place. There are little benches where you can sit down and relax for a couple of minutes because this is a walking tour, and it is a lot of walking involved. So they have a lot of benches around for you to be able to just sit and relax as well. And they also have a lot of places where you can just move over to the side and take some great pictures too. I think these are the, they call these the upper gardens. There's two gardens here, the upper gardens and the lower gardens. These are the upper gardens. Well manicured. And absolutely gorgeous.
I think those are Shasta daisies.
I have no idea what plants are called. Don't even
I think that's the only one I can grow. How's that? I love gardening.
Well, there's actually a garden back in there.
Oh, there is?
Yeah.
Oh, there is. Look at that. There are.
There's actually a garden back in there. And on this side too.
Well, honey, you may have to go. I can't get in there.
Oh,
but you
I'm
may
going
have
to lift that up
You're
there.
a little bit taller than I am.
Yeah, look at that. They say upper gardens for a reason. Did you get the other side too?
I could get that side, but I just couldn't. Slowly.
This is the other side. There's your dinner, honey.
My dinner?
Yeah, isn't that romaine lettuce back there?
One of my favorites right now.
I think that is romaine lettuce back there.
So it looks like they're boxed off by hedges, as you can see the hedges.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting. There's a palm tree here.
Really?
Yeah, right there. That's a palm
Oh,
tree.
Yeah, it is a palm tree.
Why would there be a palm tree here in this
Because they can.
climate? Yeah.
They have it's a greenhouse, by the way.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah. I don't know how you get in, but I think you got to go around.
Let's see.
Before building his greenhouse, George Washington studied several designs, finally adapting a plan from a similar structure owned by Margaret Carroll in Baltimore, Maryland. The greenhouse provided a winter refuge for tropical and semi-tropical plants such as coffee, orange, lemon, lime, sago palm, and aloe. There's your palm right there. During the warm growing season, these plants were kept in tubs outside in the garden. The original greenhouse burned in 1835. This structure here rebuilt on the original site in 1951. Let's go take a look at it. I wonder if they got any hidden Mickeys over here.
Do you think there would be hidden Mickeys here? Let's see if we can find one.
See if there's a hidden Mickey. Right there, hidden Mickey. See it? I'm kidding.
It
could very well be a hidden, yeah,
possibly.
possibly a hidden Mickey.
But interesting, these are all curves. See, that looks like a curve right there. They're like
Topiaries.
curves,
Yeah, topiaries.
and that's like shaped like a heart.
Yeah, topiaries. Some of the plants that they would grow in the greenhouse. You want me to read that for you?
Yeah.
Okay, filled with a rich variety of plants. Let me do in this my authoritative voice. Filled with a rich variety of plants. This garden showcased I'll stop now. Filled with a rich variety of plants, this garden showcased George Washington's talent as a landscape designer. This plan intentionally combines the practical aspects of vegetable gardening with the beauty of a flower garden. At the center of each planting bed are rows of vegetables for household use. They're bordered by colorful flowering plants and shrubs edged in dwarf boxwood. The most elaborate features in the garden are the boxwood, and I think it's parterres, incorporating the French fleur-de-lis design.
Oh, fleur-de-lis. Yeah, so that's what it is, the fleur-de-lis design.
That's why you saw the vegetable garden in the middle of all the plants back there earlier in the video. Remember when we walked by there and you saw the vegetables in the middle, but the plants are all the way around it? That's why.
And they do have plants right here. And I guess you could buy these. You could take these home.
Interesting.
So like I said, these are $12. You could have their boxwoods, and
you can have George Washington's plants at your backyard.
Right, so if you want to buy the boxwood, it's $12, the tree boxwood. There's a mountain mint, the fire witch, the purple cornflower.
Coneflower, not cornflower. Yeah, coneflower. They have a blackberry lily, sunflower, butterfly weed. Why cut perennials back in spring instead of fall? Provide food for the birds, add winter interest into the landscape, provide shelter and nesting places for beneficial insects, provides insulation for plants during the winter, cut back in late February or early March when new growth starts to emerge, cut back dead stems leaving at least 8 to 10 inches of old growth behind for native bee habitat. There you go, perennials, cut them back in the spring instead of the fall.
I think that's what we do.
Yeah, we do that. Honey, we have a sycamore in our backyard. I don't need to spend $15 for a sycamore.
We do have one.
We have a big sycamore in our backyard.
And then we just got recently a red maple.
Yeah, we do have a red maple too.
And I do like the fact they do have water fountains. I don't know how safe it is right now.
I think they may have them shut off.
No, this one? Nope, yeah. This one, it says do not touch. No, it is open. It is on. So you could test it if you want to. So.
Oh, do not touch the.
Okay. With your.
Yeah, it's on.
Yeah, it's on. So you can have, they have water fountains throughout the park.
Well, the other thing that I like is they also have dog watering stations because you can bring your puppies.
Oh.
It's very dog friendly here.
Oh, look at that. Welcome.
Very dog friendly.
What's in here?
This is the women's slave quarters.
What?
Washington, yeah, Washington had slaves, remember?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, this is what it is?
Yeah. And I'm glad they're not hiding the fact.
Ooh. Oh, here, you might have encountered 10 to 15 female slaves and their children. So there would be the housemaid, the knitters, the seamstress, and the spinners. Ooh, this is really interesting. And then the spinners.
Spinning wheels.
Where are we? We are behind the greenhouse.
Behind the greenhouse.
So you know where we're at. So you have to walk around the greenhouse to see these. These are like hidden gems. The shoemakers back here too.
The shoemakers kept busy making and repairing shoes for the nearly 100 adult slaves who labored on George Washington's farm. Every field hand received one pair of shoes each fall. Wow. They also fixed the saddles and Washington's family shoes. They did not make shoes for the Washingtons themselves. They ordered finer footwear from local merchants or from London. So
what's the next one?
this is the stove room, and I got to figure out what this is all about. I'll read the sign in here.
Oh, it's heat for the plants.
This is how they kept them warm, the plants warm in the winter. Hot air from the stove flowed through a series of flues into the greenhouse. Wow, lots of wood. Fire was kept going day and night, requiring an enslaved man or boy to sleep in this room late fall to early spring.
So you know they did not have the camera back then. That is to make sure people don't come in.
Yeah. So they kept the fires going all winter.
So this is the stove room. And you can see it inside, but there is bars, so you technically cannot go in.
Yep.
So let's see what the next one is.
I think probably the men slave quarters.
You think that men's slave quarters would be here?
Yeah. Yep.
No. Oh, really?
Well, the next one down.
Oh, what is this?
This is
just
an informational room right now.
Yeah. Oh, this is really cool. It does tell you about the slave quarters right there. Look at that. Right here about where they were.
Yeah, I see that. Most of the enslaved workers at the Mansion House farm lived in substantial communal quarters. Others were housed in small log cabins or other outbuildings. Wow.
And of course, you cannot forget the blacksmith.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then we got 5 minutes to get back.
Okay, so we're good. We should finish this one up and go to the next one.
So
this
here's
is probably the
male slave quarters.
Okay.
So basically the same as the females, except the men lived here.
Okay. There's quite a few people in there, so we're not going in right now, but it's very similar to. It's very similar to the Steve said, female ones,
which we went through a couple minutes ago.
Right, but there probably is no spinning wheel there. How's that?
We've got to go back over to the mansion because we've got our tour that starts in 5 minutes.
Okay.
Oh wow, an interpretive tour, an interpretive center. Next one at 10 o'clock. We're going to be in the mansion, I think.
I don't know how long the mansion tour is. We'll see.
So we'll find out. Here at Mount Vernon, we're about ready to go into George Washington's house, but unfortunately we're not allowed to take video inside, so we are going to take a whole bunch of pictures though, so get ready for those. So this is the overseer's quarters. This is the guy that would oversee the slaves. So this is where the overseer would live.
Well, this is pretty nice.
Well, the guy here wasn't a slave. He was free and just managed the enslaved labor. So he was actually paid by Washington. And there is a second floor here too, but I don't know what's up there.
Yeah, look at that. There's the bed. The closet, fireplace, desk. And I love how they ask you very list. There is the pot to
Yeah,
go to the bathroom in.
the chamber pot.
Yes.
The chamber pot.
So this is the overseer's quarters.
I'm surprised how high the ceilings actually are.
Yeah, look at how tall you are, because I'm expecting them to be shorter, but.
These are 7-foot ceilings. I mean, we deal with 8-foot or 9-foot ceilings now.
So we don't know what's upstairs. We can't see what's upstairs, but there is a staircase there. Okay.
Yeah, this is one of the buildings we can't go in. This was the clerk's office and quarters for General Washington. After his retirement, he hired a guy by the name of Alvin Rawlings to perform clerical duties and act as his business agent, especially when travel was required. I'm reading off this. Rawlings, a bachelor, found this room in the loft above to be sufficient for him. Quarters convenient to the mansion study, which Washington could quickly summon him, and the mansion cellar where the white servants' dining room is located.
So this is the paint cellar, actually, where the clerk's house.
Yeah, below the clerk's house, yeah. Fresh coats of paint, continual labor-intensive process. Tom Davis was one slave, often called upon by Washington to maintain the red roofs and the white siding of Mount Vernon's many buildings. Keep in mind, paint, an expensive commodity, like it is now, an expensive commodity back in 18th century America, imported in powder form, which was then hand mixed with linseed oil just before use.
Oh.
So this is where they would smoke all the meats. In order to preserve meat back in the 18th century without refrigerators, it was salted and smoked in a smokehouse, or meat house is what it was called. Large number of hogs were butchered in December by enslaved workers, packed in salt to dry for 4 to 6 weeks, then hung in this smokehouse in the center of the building. For long-term storage, meat remained hanging and was occasionally covered with ashes. The hams cured here were a point of pride for Mrs. Washington, who sometimes gave them as gifts to special friends. Wow.
It must have a special recipe.
But this is the smokehouse. This is where all the meats were stored. The volume of laundry required an entire building for washing and ironing. It used to be a hen house, but became the wash house in 1783 with a large fireplace and a brick boiler to heat the water.
So that must be that boiler pot. That must be the pot. Remember, when I say a boiler, it's a pot.
Mm-hmm.
And the fire, it must be that back in that corner.
Yeah.
That's got to be the boiler with the underneath it for it to heat the water. They did not have what?
They used clothing racks to dry. Look at that iron there. It's on the table. They would heat the iron up on the fire and then bring it over and iron. I wonder.
Coach house.
Yeah, the stable area. This is reproduction. Riding chairs used to travel country lanes and back road easier than the four-wheelers. Hook these up to horses, and rather than riding a four-wheeler, I mean, it's just a chair on a wagon is all it is.
That is true. Almost like a sled. Look at that,
Yeah.
how that's curved.
You know, he had the riding chairs. He also had the horse-drawn carriages. I don't know if this is an original or not. But these are the coaches that they used to ride in. It may be original. It may just very well be an original. Yeah, here's the stable part of it. This is where he kept the horses. Yeah, you can tell.
Oh, we can still smell it.
His original wooden stable burned down in 1781. He designed and built this brick structure to replace it. Going the right way. There's a sign right there.
Yeah, tomb. Yeah, that's what we want. We're going the correct way. So if you look up there, we have weather coming in soon, so we don't know how much more we have before we get soaked, but we're trying to get to Washington's tomb.
I want to get to the tomb before we do anything, so we're going to do that and then maybe investigate a little bit more depending on the weather.
So there must be two tombs. He must have been moved at some time. We don't know. We have to double check that. But there's an old tomb and a Washington tomb. So we're going to go to the old tomb first.
And then we'll walk over to the Washington tomb and see the slave memorial. I doubt this is original brickwork, but it
is not.
May be a facsimile of what was here.
So this is where he was originally buried.
Yeah. George and Martha Washington, along with 20 other family members, originally interred in this old vault. In accordance with his will, Washington directed the building of a new tomb, and they were moved to the new tomb in 1831.
So the tomb was here, but we have another story on where he was originally supposed to be built, and where he was supposed to be buried. And that happened on our trip 5 years ago. And the reason why we didn't end up coming here was because Steve and I had a case of poison ivy.
Yep.
So the tomb here
was the original tomb, but they built another one. He had another one built here.
But he was supposed to not be buried here.
He was supposed to be buried in the Capitol Rotunda, but there's a space right in the center underneath the Capitol Rotunda where he was supposed to have been buried, according to
the Capitol tour.
The Capitol tour that we took 5 years ago. So we're going to wander over to the to Washington's tomb and also the slave memorial that's here, and to. I just want to clarify, we didn't get poison ivy in Washington. We got poison ivy at home, but it kind of got worse as we were traveling to Williamsburg, Jamestown, and Washington,
We were not
D.C.
contagious at that time.
No,
so
we weren't.
But we were just suffering from poison ivy at that time because we helped my son with his house right before that, probably about a week or two before. And it was we were still just trying to get over it.
Yeah, so we decided not to come here to Mount Vernon. I'm glad we didn't, because we feel a lot better walking it here than we would have back then, to be honest with you. So I am not going to talk. So, just so you know. Washington owned 317 slaves, men, women, and children who had no choice.
Just remember, this was 1799.
Yeah.
This is not 2020, 21,
21, yeah.
22, 23. This is 1799.
In his will, Washington provided the freedom for 123 of them. Upon Mrs. Washington's death, she freed them early in 1801. The remaining 194 people, whether dower or rented slaves, remained enslaved after the death of General and Mrs. Washington. In 1929, the Mount Vernon Ladies Association placed a marker noting the location of the slave cemetery, believed to be the first commemoration of its kind at a historic site. Despite this recognition, the burial ground lay unattended for decades until a group of citizens began a concerted effort to honor the enslaved people buried here. In 1983, Mount Vernon dedicated a new memorial, which was designed by architecture students at Howard University. It is a lasting tribute to the memory of those individuals who lived and toiled in bondage here. This whole place just got amazingly quiet because they were playing the national anthem in the background, and everyone around that I can see, left, right, behind, forward, was standing up, putting their hand across their heart and to the national anthem. Amazing sight, amazing sight.
We apologize that we're out of breath. We just had to climb
Oh
up
my gosh.
versus going down.
It was so much easier going down.
Oh my gosh. So this is actually one of the things that we do just talk about. It's called a necessary.
Well, yeah, I call them an outhouse, but it's a necessary from that day. Again, they didn't have bathrooms. Remember, when we went through the mansion, it was nothing but chamber pots. But they have outdoor toilets called a necessary. Not only did it provide convenience, but also encouraged the centralized collection of human waste. Fell into a large wooden drawers below the seats, which could be easily removed for proper disposal. Now, the design of it exemplifies Washington's interest in architecture and his desire to create a unified appearance for buildings near the mansion. Now, this is not the original. This was rebuilt, but it was rebuilt on the original site.
So we're going to the necessary, or what we call the outhouse.
Yeah, the privy. And no, I don't think it's in use anymore.
No. Oh, okay, so they have the drawers like they said they were.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so there is the holes. And they fell into the drawers and you have to empty up the drawers.
No privacy. There's 3 holes, but no privacy.
I guess you should shut the door.
Well, what if, there's 3 holes in there, so 3 people?
I don't know.
Again, no privacy. Is that why they called it a privy?
I don't know. So, we could go and look at the kitchen garden. So we're in the east garden, and this is the lower kitchen garden.
Mount Vernon's kitchen gardens have been continuously cultivated, and today includes many of the same vegetables, fruits, and herbs regularly used by the Washingtons back in the day. The space not intended to be ornamental, but the gate on the bowling green allows visitors to admire the terraced spaces with squares and rows of fruits and vegetables. This is so cool. And so well tended too. So we're actually kind of wrapping up here at Mount Vernon. Why? Well, because it's starting to really rain outside, and most of the stuff that we're still be able to see here is outside. So we're going to wrap things up here and hopefully come back again in the near future. But I think we got most of the stuff that was inside, and what I really wanted to see was the mansion itself, right, honey?
Yeah, it was really interesting on the mansion. And like I said, I think they said we can do video, but we did photos, lots of photos.
Couldn't do video. We did get some audio. I tried to stay close to the people that were talking about what was going on in the mansion and how it was all put together. So hopefully some of that audio came out and you can hear that. But we took lots of pictures inside the mansion itself. So wrapping things up here at Mount Vernon, thanks for watching our videos. We always appreciate it. Make sure you hit the subscribe button below if you've not already done so. Also that bell notification button below. Love for you to hit the like button too, because that does help us out immensely. Thanks for watching and have a magical day.